Hello everybody and welcome to your Daily 5 for the 22nd of July. My name is Julius de Kempenaer and I am presenting to you from Amsterdam in the Netherlands and hosting today's episode of your Daily 5. I'm a senior analyst here at StockCharts.com and the creator of relative rotation graphs. No surprise, they play a crucial part in my approach to pick 5 interesting charts for you. You can find my contributions in the RRG blog on the site, as well as on StockCharts television, where I host Sector Spotlight every Tuesday from 10:30 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Today's journey to our 5 chart is taking us to the industrial sector. And I want to start at the sector level where the industrial tail, the tail for XLI, is inside the weakening quadrant and moving towards lagging. So it's not one of the better sectors. As a matter of fact, it's one of the sectors that is about to start underperforming the S&P 500. The industrial sector is one of the sensitive sectors together with communication services, technology, and energy. And I've plotted them here on this RRG. And I want to start looking at some of the more interesting groups inside the industrial sector. The RRG here on the right has all the industries inside the industrial sector. And as you can see, there is a ton of them. Some of them with very nice big tails, like here AF, that's US delivery services, with a long tail moving into lagging, that's AR, that's the US airlines index, and a lot in between. And as you can see, it's evenly spread out against the industrials index as the benchmark. XLI is the benchmark of this graph. Now we can't go over all these tails, but you know that when you select one and you use the arrow keys on your keyboard, you can quickly toggle through all the individual names and highlight the tail and isolate it and get a better handle on what is going on. I have selected 5 groups that I want to share with you today. And those 5 groups are on this RRG here, isolated. It is US delivery services, AF. It is industrial suppliers, DS. It's commercial vehicles and trucks, HR at the end. Heavy construction, HV, and support services, IV. And they're all against, again, the XLI index. So I'm going to move this RRG to the left so we can have both charts up at the same time and talk you through the individual groups and why I think that they are worth our time and potentially attention. So the first one is HR. That's commercial vehicles and trucks. That's very clearly in this group a weak group. So this is a group inside industrials that I would prefer to avoid. Why is that? Because relative strength is weak and weakening. Both RRG lines are below 100. That positions the tail inside the lagging quadrant. And we have completed a very big top formation on the price chart. We broke lower and seeing a little recovery, but as far as I'm concerned, that is a pullback towards the breakout level. So the upside here is very, very limited. The second graph is the one for the industrial suppliers. And the industrial suppliers, that's a pretty weird tail. It's inside leading, but it doesn't really do it. And as you can see here, why that is both RRG lines are hovering above 100 without a clear direction, almost sideways. But when I look a little bit further, I see that relative strength is starting to break support. And if I look at the price chart, then it looks as if a big top formation was completed. So the break below this 470 area was definitely negative for the group itself, but it's now taking its toll on relative strength. So I wouldn't be surprised if there would be more downside for the industrial suppliers index, and that will almost certainly have an impact on its relative strength versus XLI. So eventually that will push the DJUSDS index into weakening and potentially later into lagging. Now the third group is the one with the highest RS momentum reading. It's way up on the RS momentum scale, and it's nicely inside the leading quadrant at a good RS ratio level. When I look at this chart, you think, hey, that's an interesting tail. That looks very good. And from a relative point of view, yeah, not a problem. Although it is pushing against resistance, as you can see on the chart on the right here, but these lines are pushing higher. There is a good chance that relative strength will break support. However, when I look at the price chart, it looks as if we had a massive head and shoulders reversal here over the last year and a half, which is now starting to take its toll. We've had the initial decline. We're now pulling back, and we didn't even make it back to the neckline. So this puts me on crossroads. So from a relative point of view, it all still looks pretty good. From a price point of view, I'm not so sure yet. So there is this big reversal pattern, but there's also first higher lows coming in, and it looks as if we're pushing against resistance around 1470. So this can go both ways. If we take out 1470, 1500, potentially get back above that neckline, then the delivery services index will definitely improve further and push that relative strength further up and pull that nice green tail further into the leading quadrant. On the other hand, if it doesn't work like that, and if we start declining and we break 1300, there is much more downside for this delivery services index, which makes me, as I said, crossroads. This could be an interesting sector both ways. So please pay attention, breaking 1300 or taking out, let's round it off around 1500, getting out of this sideways pattern. Both could provide interesting trading opportunities. And then we have heavy construction. If you look at the relative strength here, that is a very nice uptrend, and it still looks to be moving higher. Let me highlight it here. That's the tail, which is inside leading at a very nice heading, and there's nothing that points to weakness ahead. As a matter of fact, RS momentum just dipped and started to move higher again, which makes it one of the better groups inside the industrial index. Within the range, there is still plenty of room to move to an area between 825 and 850. So this is one of the groups that I would certainly keep on my radar as potentially interesting. And then finally, the Business Support Services Index. As you can see on the RRG, the tail is just about crossing into the leading quadrant with a very nice RRG heading, almost straight, heading in the right direction. And if we look at the chart, then we can see that after a big decline, DJUSIV has found support in the area between 870 and let's say 920, 925. And since May, we have had 3 short-term lows being put into place in that area. If we combine that with relative strength that is curling upwards and looks as if it's putting in a new low, and both RRG lines pushing above 100, positioning the tail inside the leading quadrant and moving further into it, I think that makes the Dow Jones US Business Support Services Index one of the group inside the industrial sector with the most potential in the next coming weeks. And that concludes your Daily 5 for today. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again at a future episode of your Daily 5 very, very soon.
Hey guys, Dave Keller here with StockCharts.com. Thanks so much for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, and we hope you did, hit the like button right below. Also, we have so much new content every day. Consider subscribing to the channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the video or right below. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a fantastic day.